can't see Morgan back there, but she is about ready to dive back in the water, and we do not. There she goes. You see her? She's diving back in. Hey, Morgan. Oh, my gosh, you guys. It is hot out here, so it is a great day to get out to the pool. Here's the other thing about the Eatonville pool, Mayor Gardner, it's free.
It's free.
Free to the community members, free to the people who live here.
Yes. So all that residual income that you're losing because of high rent, this is free.
Oh, I love that.
Amazing.
I love it. It's beautiful. And here's Marley. She's right here. Hi, gorgeous. It's okay. I don't blame you.
Chicken, I need to work out.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today for our summer block party. TJ, did we have fun?
We had a blast. I'm gonna
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Well, good morning to you and welcome into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Weimer and thanks for joining us on this Friday morning live on Fox Local and on YouTube. We are just about to the weekend and I think we can get there together. So we appreciate you joining us this morning here and some fun things going on this weekend, in fact, including the Cocoa Beach Air Show going on Saturday and Sunday. We'll have the details on that coming up in just a little bit, and also hear from some of the folks who are involved with that about how they were inspired, what they want to see come out of this weekend, and what you can expect if you want to head out to that. Meanwhile, I've given you a live look at the Daytona Beach in Volusia County. There you can see a good number of folks out at the beach on this beautiful and hot Friday morning here in Central Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis talking Alligator Alcatraz ahead of a planned visit of state and federal lawmakers to that detention facility in the Everglades. Tomorrow, we will hear from him responding to some of the criticisms that have been talked about recently. He was on Fox News last night, and we're going to hear from him in just a little bit. We are also looking into Central Florida's housing affordability crisis. Central Florida Congressman filing two pieces of legislation that he says will help with that. He calls them pro-renter bills, a couple to help because of this housing affordability crisis and the impacts, ramifications of that. And it's not something that we're dealing with here in Florida, but dealing with across the country as well. So we will have more on that coming up in just a little bit. A news conference held just a little bit ago here in I believe it was in Orlando. It was in Orlando. So that the news conference we will take you to in just a little bit. But we begin this morning as neighbors in Holden Heights in Orange County say they are concerned about a growing homeless encampment. This comes as the deputies are investigating a deadly shooting that happened near that campsite. Fox 35's Morgan Parrish has the details.
Yesterday,
crews were out for hours following up on that investigation. But when we were out there, we did see that homeless encampment camp, several tents out there, a lot of people walking around the area. And so now the county says that their mental health and homelessness division is setting up a team out there today to offer free services. But I want you guys to take a look at the video from the scene yesterday. That shooting call came in just after 2 o'clock in the morning. And this was at the intersection of 18th Street and South Nashville Avenue. Now, when deputies arrived, that's when they found a 30-year-old man who had been shot, and he later died at the hospital. Neighbors we spoke with say the rise in crime coincides with the growing homeless camp on the street. And the commissioner who represents the district, Commissioner Michael Scott, says the root causes of homelessness needs to be a priority to city leaders.
Try to figure out why those folks are homeless and what, if anything, we can do, whether that's education, job training, mental health or substance abuse. I mean, any number of things that, any one or a few of those individuals are facing.
And we also asked Commissioner Scott about the state's new law against public sleeping. He says he's not really too sure that it will actually help clear out the camp.
Well, the statute, it's kind of vague. It doesn't really denote it just says, hey, you should not have any public camping. The issue is where they are, although it is the right, it's private property.
And so now neighbors are asking for the encampment to be cleared. And again, starting today, we know that there is going to be a team out there offering those free services. So as far as the investigation, we know there's still a lot of questions that need answers. We're still working to learn more.
Continuing to follow up on that, and we will bring more details as we get them. We are also learning more about this alleged illegal gambling ring that is tied to suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. New documents detailing another alleged location, an arcade in Lake County. Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie has that story.
Here at this strip mall in Claremont, you can actually still see the holes in the awning behind me from where the sign of the Dreamers Arcade was hung. That was before it was taken down by the feds when they shut this operation down last August. It appears state prosecutors may be trying to tie this spot back to the suspended sheriff in their racketeering case against him. These are new pictures showing the inside of Dreamers Arcade in Lake County. Back on August 22nd, 2024, deputies seized devices, found nearly 100 illegal slot machines, and nearly $45,000 in cash. This week, that same business name showed up in discovery documents filed by the state in their racketeering case against Lopez. He's accused of making upwards of $700,000 over 5 years. The discovery list includes the Players Club Arcade and Hot Seats Arcade, and state registration records for 15 LLCs. Prosecutors also named a business with ties to the state of Wyoming. Fox 35 spoke with one of Lopez's attorneys, Migdalia Perez, by phone yesterday afternoon. She says they're still waiting on the full discovery packet to learn more about what the state is alleging and the crimes they are accusing him of committing. The discovery list also notes more than 5,000 pages of reports from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Homeland Security. As this case proceeds, we expect to learn more about these businesses and documents and how they may relate to this investigation into the racketeering charges. Reporting in Lake County, Amanda McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Well, as we continue to deal with the summer storms and head deeper into the more active portion of hurricane season, the city of Ormond Beach says it is trying to tackle a flooding problem, and they're doing that by installing a new pump station that they say can drain the equivalent of 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools, all in just a matter of minutes. And as Fox 35's Marley Capper reports, though, the city still needs help paying for it.
Good morning. Construction has started here in Ormond Beach for the new pump stations. You can see how large these pipes are. They're huge, and they have them lined down the entire street here. They even have the big cat right over here ready for construction. Now, this is going to help hundreds of homes in the area from flooding and future storms. Take a look at these photos from October 10th, 2024, after Hurricane Milton, showing major flooding here. Residents hope this new pump station will fix it. The mayor says the project cost $16 million. The city got $5.3 million from the state in 2023 and applied for a $9.4 million grant from FEMA. They're still waiting on an answer from them. The new pump station will let them drain the lakes before a storm, sending the water to the Halifax River and empty ponds within 12 hours. There's already a pump on the north side. Residents hope this one helps too.
All the lakes are connected, and the city does pump them. Yeah. And the city does pump them. 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 And the city does but with the stormwater, it wasn't enough. But if it helps in the long run, yeah, it's just a great thing. And I know they're spending lots of money to help us out. So we're hanging in there with them.
The mayor says if the money doesn't come from FEMA, they can always pull from the Stormwater Fund. He hopes that this project here will be done by 2027. For now, reporting in Ormond Beach, Marley Capper, Fox 35 News.
And as we go to break here on Fox 35 News Plus, going to leave you with this view of Daytona Beach again. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of jealous of the folks out there right now, enjoying the waves, enjoying the sun and the sand. Nice place to be. And you remember, you can take Fox Local with you out there anywhere you go. Have it on your phone. Download it. We'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Weimer, and thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. Congressman Maxwell Frost and some other officials, including State Representative Anna Eskamani, held a news conference this morning at Luminary Green Park in Orlando. And Congressman Frost was introducing two what he calls pro-renter bills. So one of them is called the End Junk Fees for Renters Act, the other one called the End Tenant Credit Screening Act. He says that these are designed to increase transparency and eliminate some of the barriers to housing and affordable housing access. And this comes, as he says, we're really dealing with a worsening housing affordability crisis here in Central Florida and a lot of places across the country. And he hopes that these bills would be something that could help with that. Here is Congressman Frost, State Representative Eskamani, and some other officials speaking just a little bit ago in Orlando.
And we're here today because we know that the rent in Orlando and across the entire country is too damn high. Rent is becoming ridiculously expensive. And what's making it worse are junk fees that landlords are tacking on. Application fees, late fees, online payment fees, pet fees, fees for just calling your landlord and asking them to fix something in the unit. Yes, we have 2 to 3 apartment complexes here in Central Florida that charge $40 to $60 every time you do that. It's making life harder for everyday people who are already struggling to get by. We're in a country where the cost of living is continuing to rise. Wealth inequality is so large, and working people are increasingly becoming the working poor. That what could support a family 10 years ago, 20 years ago, is not enough to get by nowadays. Folks are sick and tired of being squeezed at every turn, and that's why today I'm really proud to be introducing two pieces of legislation and reintroducing two pieces of legislation. One is called the End Junk Fees for Renters Act, and then the other one is the End Tenant Credit Screening Act. In 2023, I introduced my very first housing bill, the End Junk Fees for Renters Act, and I'm actually really excited to share that this year the legislation is bicameral. The Senate sponsor is Senator Merkley of Oregon, and he's introducing the bill in the Senate. The End Junk Fees for Renters Act takes aim at the hidden fees and abusive practices that landlords use to squeeze every last dollar out of tenants by banning application fees and screening fees. It ends late fee charges on rent that go nowhere, and it requires landlords to be transparent on how often and by how much they regularly increase rent, any ongoing pest issues and any maintenance issues, plus any past or present litigation with tenants. We're in a position where during COVID and right after COVID, tenants lost so much power in the marketplace. You know, when you're applying to live in an apartment, the landlord, the leasing company is going to know everything about your life. And in the state of Florida, what do you have a right to know about them? Zip. Nothing. That's why we think in the entire country we need to put more power into the hands of tenants to make informed decisions on one of the biggest decisions you'll make as a person, which is deciding where you're going to live. And this is keeping so many people out of it. And, you know, many of you know, this is very personal to me. During my campaign, I was priced out of my apartment in Winter Park. And then after I got elected, I got denied from every apartment complex I applied to in Washington, D.C. I couldn't find a place to live because my credit wasn't high enough. And so there's two instances, one of not having enough money to find a place to live, and the second one, I had taken out a loan so I could get an apartment, so I had the money, but I was coming up to the barriers to housing, which are all too often an issue here in Central Florida and across the country as well. But then, about a year ago, I went to move to a new apartment here in Orlando, and I was going to sign the lease, and I'm literally about to sign on the dotted line, and I read right above it that there were two fees that I wasn't told about, and that I'd have to pay $150 per person in the apartment to sign the lease. I forget what they called it. They called it like a tenant lease fee or some BS. And so that was $300 on top of what I was already paying, and I didn't even know about it until I was signing on the dotted line. When we talk about mom and pop landlords, the good news is this. Most mom and pop landlords who own a unit here, 2 units there, don't charge junk fees. Most of the time we're talking about these large apartment complexes that are charging a fee for this, for that, for things that in many cases they actually legally have to provide to the tenants anyways. And if a landlord feels like they have to charge these fees to mow the grass or do whatever they need to do, well, guess what? You could charge it. Just put it into the rent. So when tenants are on websites or Zillow or whatever, and we're looking through, we're able to make informed decisions, and we don't feel like it's a bait and switch and that we've been lied to when essentially you're at the end of the process. This is part of the issue that's going on in this country, is corporations, large conglomerates have way too much power over us, and we need to put more power into the hands of consumers and people in this country. And that's what the End Junk Fees Renters Act does, and that's what we're going to do by banning credit scores, which is the second one in the application process. The fact of the matter is, credit scores are not a good indication on whether or not someone's going to pay their rent. Every single study shows us this. And what we know to be true, number one, paying the rent doesn't help your credit score. But the other thing is this. When people fall on hard times, the first two things they cut from is not housing or rent. In fact, the first thing they cut from is food and then medicine. Food and medicine. In fact, many surveys show that the last thing people cut from when they fall in hard times is their rent. It's literally the last thing they cut from. And so credit scores and this number made by banks for banks to put us in debt forever are essentially keeping people from being able to have the honor of paying the sky-high rents we have right now. I think it's ridiculous. And we need a real housing agenda, because I believe that housing is a human right. And that every person in this country, in the richest country on the face of the earth, ought to have a roof over their head. And so I just really appreciate everyone being here today. You know, in the wake of the Grants Pass Supreme Court decision that literally put handcuffs over our people. We're here to proclaim that we want housing, not handcuffs. 200 cities in several states, including Florida, have passed laws criminalizing homelessness, saddling folks with criminal records and making it even harder to get back on their feet. And we want a future where everybody has access to stable, secure housing, and so we have to end junk fees. Every single person deserves housing. And we've got a lot of work to do left for renters. We have a lot of work to do for homeowners as well, especially in this state with the insurance crisis. This housing crisis touches everybody, whether you're a tenant or a homeowner. But these bills are really important for immediate relief for so many people here in Central Florida.
So I don't think I have to tell or remind anyone here that Orlando remains one of the most cost-burdened metros in the United States. We take a lot of pride in our food scene. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive. But when it comes to housing, people are struggling. And when I knock on doors, I hear from constituents every day who love living in the city beautiful, who love living here in Orange County, but can't afford it. And they might work here, but they are exploring other options in Lake County. They're willing to travel out and come in for work, which of course is going to be another cost for them as well. And so we need to look at our cities as places where people can actually work, live, and play. We need to also keep in consideration the impact this has on families as a unit and the cycle of poverty. And I'm a firm believer that poverty is a policy decision, that we allow it to exist in our communities. And when we have our fellow Floridians sleeping under I-4, that's a policy choice that we made and that we decided to be okay with. But this group, we're not okay with that, right? No. We're not okay with that. And we want to make sure that regardless of how much money you have or don't have, or regardless of your cultural background or race or gender identity, that you also don't face housing discrimination. We don't have enough housing in general, but then we also have folks who are returning citizens, folks with disabilities, who also struggle to find a good place to live. And I just want to share a story from a constituent that I think will reflect on the Congressman's legislation very well. About 2 years ago, we had a constituent reach out to our office that was about to be evicted. Unfortunately, his roommate had left, so he could no longer afford his apartment, and he was looking for options in a place of crisis. And so obviously when this comes to our desk, it's a call to action, but it can be difficult to find any alternatives. We actually did find an apartment for this individual, and he was in the lobby getting through the process, and then they did that credit score check. And he didn't pass. And there were no other options for him. And so I understand, why many landlords lean on this as the only way to judge a tenant, but I think it's so important to consider other options, because a credit score does not tell the story of an entire person's life. It is not reflective of what they've been able to rebuild. And it's very, very important to be open to other alternatives to combat the poverty that we're facing today. And with that said, I want to lift up some of the work in the legislature. Unfortunately, here in Florida, a lot of renters' rights and renters' protections have been preempted to the state. And this is due to the lobbying forces of large corporate apartment complexes, many who are owned by private equity. And it is impossible to even get through to some of these companies. I have had to walk into lobbies of major apartment complexes right here in Orlando, like the Yard, where tenants were having issues with the Yard, to be just given a generic email for me to use that I don't even know who answers it. And that's supposed to be the response as a lawmaker I get to my constituents. Well, I sent an email, right? It's so incredibly frustrating what these large corporations get away with. They exploit our tenants, they exploit our consumers, and we need consumer protections. And I see Congressman Frost's legislation as strong consumer protections, with many, many more to come.
There's a news conference earlier today in Orlando. I'll give you a live look right now at I-75 in Marion County, where the northbound lanes are closed, being diverted at Highway 484. This is because an overpass at Southwest 66th Street, according to fire officials, was hit by a large truck. And so they're having to do some work there, having to do some cleanup. And you see the major backups that are resulting from that because those northbound lanes are closed. So if you're going to be heading through that area, they're saying find alternate routes. and expect more traffic along 441, 301, and 475 through Marion County. So certainly something to be aware of. We're going to take a break here on Fox 35 News Plus, but we'll be right back. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson joins me now. And Jess, some places we got a bit of a break from those storms yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of us had dry time. I know I had some dry time in my house yesterday, and it made it really hot still and very humid, but it made this morning feel a little less muggy outside just by a hair, but it won't last very long. We're going to be expecting the return of some showers and storms today, along with some more of that humidity. So especially those areas that do see the showers today, it is going to feel quite muggy. It's just going to be one of those very Florida-like summertime days, especially throughout the afternoon. So we're kind of approaching some of the hottest temperatures we've been seeing so far this summer. So be mindful of that. So looking ahead towards the next 12 hours, you'll see that temperatures are going to continue to climb into the mid-90s for highs. We'll see an upwards of a 40% chance of rain today. And looking at future clouds and radar, it does paint the picture showing some scattered showers and storms, but really not developing until much later on today. So looking ahead towards around 5 o'clock, even still, they're going to be pretty few and far between, very isolated. It's not until we really start to see more of that southeasterly breeze kick in and it interacts with the west coast sea breeze, and that is what's going to help to give way to more of the scattered variety of showers and storms, more so the clusters, and they're going to form essentially right over central parts of central Florida, so the interior areas. That does include, Osceola County and Orange County as well. So just a couple of things to consider as you maybe are making dinner plans or whatever evening plans you might have, especially if some of them might be outdoors. It's not going to rain all day long. There will be some breaks, and they will be pretty few and far between, but just a couple of things to keep in mind. If you do start to see some dark and ominous skies and you hear the rumble of thunder or see some lightning, it's a good idea to head indoors and just let this one kind of rain itself out, and you should be able to see some more dry time as the nightfall wears on. In terms of highs today, though, that's going to be kind of the secondary big story for us aside from the rain, is how hot it's going to be. We're not talking record highs or anything, but this is some of the hottest air we've felt so far this summer. 94 is what we can expect today in Orlando, but some spots will get even hotter than that. 95, say, in Bithlo, 94 in Palm Coast as well, even along the beaches, 92 degrees, 90 in New Smyrna. So it's going to be one of those days at the beaches, especially, that you want to make sure you have sandals and flip-flops that are thick enough to where it will protect your feet from the really hot, dry part of the sand, because I can tell you from experience, I have tried to walk over sand with flip-flops that were not thick enough when it's really hot, and yeah, it's not a fun experience. Don't recommend it. So just make sure you're protecting your feet, and of course wear the sunblock as well, as if you're gonna be heading out to the beaches today. That it's gonna be hot. So we're talking low mid 90s. The heat index, so that's going to be what it feels like once we factor in the higher humidity levels. It's going to be right around the low 100s, anywhere from around 101 to as high as, say, 106 or maybe even 107 for a few isolated spots. So that's just something you want to keep in mind as we head into today and also the weekend. This heat and humidity is not really going to go anywhere, at least over the next couple of days. So for this weekend specifically, we'll see about a 60% chance of rain for Saturday, a 70% chance as we head into our Sunday. So we'll see a higher coverage of those showers and storms, a high of 94 Saturday and then 95 degrees for Sunday, and that will be the hottest day of the next several. In terms of our rain chances, you'll see that just across the board, they're going to be on the higher side with more tropical moisture that's going to be coming into play, although we're really not concerned about much in the way of a tropical system developing anytime soon. We're going to watch for an area of low pressure that may try to develop across the Gulf, but as of right now, the National Hurricane Center has not outlined any areas for tropical development. So at this time, we're in good shape. We'll continue to monitor the Gulf where an area of low pressure might try to get going, but overall, the models have not been too excited about that. So we'll keep you posted, though, if anything does try to get churning or going or looks like it might be a little suspicious. But at this time, we're in fine shape. Looking at the next 7 days, we're going to be seeing just hot and humid weather, mid-90s all the way through about Monday. By Tuesday, we'll be a little closer to the low 90s. Generally speaking, we'll be pretty close to normal in terms of highs. It just probably won't really feel normal for us because it is going to be just so hot. And then we'll see the upper 80s and low 90s a little closer towards middle and late parts of next week, where we might have a front try to come into play. It's probably not going to make it to Florida, though. We usually don't see those this time of year, but regardless, it could just help to bring more moisture and trigger more showers and storms our way. And hey, we might get some slightly cooler, less hot temperatures along the way as well. So if you're maybe like visiting from out of town, especially, this heat can sneak up on you. So just make sure you're drinking the water. I know that sounds really obvious, but drink the water, and of course, take lots of breaks. Keep in mind, if you start to feel nauseous or anything, just to kind of listen to your body, because it's trying to tell you stuff, especially when it's this hot outside.
Yeah, we are. When you're talking the triple digits with those heat index, I mean, that's you can't play around with that.
Yeah, no, and that's not like heat advisory criteria technically for Florida, but if you're not from here and your body's not acclimated to it, it can feel like it. So you just want to make sure, especially if you have things like asthma too or breathing problems, it can feel a lot worse. So if you want to cut the grass or something like that, you might want to wait until a little earlier in the day, Saturday or Sunday. You might have a little bit better time in terms of the better feeling temperatures. I don't like using the word cooler because we don't really see that this time of year in Florida. So.
Well, and thanks for reminding me I have to cut the grass now. So.
Hey, it's what I'm here for.
Add that back to my to-do list. Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson, we appreciate you joining us. As we go to break here on Fox 35 News Plus, leave you with a view from our camera along I Drive, looking toward the attractions. What do you have planned for the weekend? Cutting the grass, maybe something fun? Let us know. If you're watching us on YouTube, drop it in the chat there. We're going to take a break here on Fox 35 News Plus, but we will be right back after this.
watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus. I'm Garrett Weimer, and thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. We know tomorrow a group of state and federal lawmakers will get a guided tour of Alligator Alcatraz, the new ICE detention facility that was built at the Collier-Dade Training Airport in the Everglades. We talked yesterday with a couple of the lawmakers who have been invited to that. They expressed some of their concerns about seeing what they call a sanitized version of the conditions there. If you'd like to watch those interviews, you can find those right now on Fox Local and on fox35orlando.com. And this visit comes a week after a group of state lawmakers tried to access the facility, saying that they, according to law, have the oversight ability to conduct unannounced visits at state correctional facilities. And so they tried to access Alligator Alcatraz and were denied. Well, we learned yesterday, as breaking news on Fox 35 News at 4, that this group of lawmakers had filed suit, had petitioned the Supreme Court, saying they deserve and are demanding that access, that they believe they are given or should be given. And so we are still awaiting a decision in that case. But last night, Governor Ron DeSantis was on Fox News. He joined Jesse Watters Primetime to respond to that suit by a group of Florida Democrats trying to gain access to Alligator Alcatraz. He also talked about this visit tomorrow and also continued to reiterate his support for President Trump and his immigration and mass deportation policies.
Governor, you're going to have people descending upon Alligator Alcatraz. They're going to want in. They want action. They want to save people from the mosquitoes, we believe. Are you prepared?
Oh, man. So listen, we built that Alligator Alcatraz in record time. Federal government's blessed it. They're going to provide reimbursements for Florida, which is great. But it is a center to process illegal aliens and then to provide a pad to deport them from the runway that's right there. We did not create the Four Seasons. That's not the intent of this. All the standards are a lot higher than what was even required, but that's, really beside the point. The point is this Alligator Alcatraz is going to enhance the ability of the federal government to do more deportations of illegal aliens. And that's what people want to see. That's what a lot of us voted for. And that's what the rule of law calls for. Now, we are allowing this weekend the Democrat or any congressman from Florida and the state reps. So there'll be Republicans that go too. They're going to be able to go. But what we're not going to do is provide them with a platform to virtue signal and have some politicized photo op. I mean, if they want to see, they'll see there's professional folks that are there running this. But isn't it odd, Jesse? I mean, I have never seen the Democrats fight this hard for American citizens.
No.
I mean, they're outraged that there may be a mosquito in South Florida because it affects an illegal alien. But I don't see them exerting a fraction of this effort to defend the American people. They certainly didn't do it during the BLM riots. I didn't see them defending U.S. soldiers when Biden kicked them out of the military because of the COVID jab. But yet, illegal aliens, that is where they're planting their flag. And so we're just excited that we're part of the solution to the problem of illegal immigration. And I think it's been a great partnership with DHS.
Well, we're looking at some live pictures. There's a standoff in Ventura County. You see some aerial shots by the chopper. There seems to be some sort of raid that went down at a cannabis farm. It was staffed almost entirely by illegal alien labor. And all of a sudden, Antifa, local agitators came in, and it looks like they've kind of surrounded federal agents. They had to fly a chopper in to resupply the guys down there. It seems to be like there's a lot more intensity now with each one of these raids. How do you see this going forward?
Well, if the roles were reversed, the left would be saying it's an insurrection, right? I mean, like, you have federal law enforcement that have clear authority to enforce clear federal law. And if you are illegally employed in this country, that is a violation of federal law. And so when you have folks, particularly in California, who are trying to interpose themselves in between the lawful process that this country has. That's a big problem. And there's certain parts of the country, like Florida, you would never be able to get away with that for 2 seconds. But I think what's happened in California, they've really developed a sense of entitlement to simply disregard federal laws they don't like, particularly with regard to immigration. And this has been happening for many years. And so I think the situation has escalated. I think that clearly they're in the wrong, but this is likely not going to stop in California anytime soon, because I think this has just been embedded in the psyche there that somehow they can disregard laws they don't want to follow.
Governor, is ICE being too nice? You see some video. I mean, they're doing, like, I guess, de-escalation tactics, which probably is the right move. But the more you tangle with these crazy people, the more it gives them confidence. And if you don't make arrests and knock some heads together and show them that you may get hurt when you come in and block law enforcement, they're just going to get more and more angry. Do you think that they could step up some of their tactics?
Well, I think what would happen if that were tried in Florida, we would have our state agencies, and I'm sure a lot of the local police and sheriffs would be working. And so ICE has the mission of apprehending the illegals. If we had people that were trying to block a street, we in the state of Florida, we would take care of that, no problem, and work very cooperatively. I think the problem is when you're in a place like California, ICE doesn't get the support that they need from the locals. I think there's a lot of police officers individually who want to be helpful, but the political leadership is not allowing that to happen. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's ICE has to take care of all of that, because some of that absolutely needs to be done with state and local assets.
Keep it right here on Fox Local and YouTube. We'll be right back with more Fox 35 News Plus after this.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Welcome back into Fox 35 News Plus on this Friday morning. I'm Garrett Weimer, and thanks for joining us here. Practice is underway right now for the Cocoa Beach Air Show going on this weekend. The practice scheduled to start at 11, and a couple of days of exciting air show scheduled for those aerial performances scheduled between noon and 3:30 on Saturday and on Sunday. You can see it from Lori Wilson Park there in Cocoa Beach. You're going to see military and civilian aircraft. You're going to see the F-22 Raptor demo team. You're also going to see the REMAC parachute team a lot of really cool stuff there. We got a chance yesterday to go out and talk to a couple of the people who are involved in this. One of them is the commander and a pilot with the F-22 demonstration team. The other, an instructor pilot and a captain with the 71st Fighter Squad. And they talk about what made them, what inspired them to do this, and what they hope people take away from this show this weekend.
It's been fantastic this year. We have a three-part mission on the F-22 demonstration team. That's recruit, retain, and inspire. And one of the ways we do that is by coming out and talking to the community, getting to know everybody, tell our individual stories. And that's kind of our favorite part of the entire mission, to be honest with you. So we'll be doing a lot of that this weekend. And then the other side is going to be the air show side. And we're going to take this machine you see behind me and show the full maneuvering capability of the F-22 and why it's such a great asset to the United States.
And a lot of people here will be floored with the entertainment aspect of it, but you mentioned recruiting. How do you hope to recruit just inspiring people who are on the ground?
Absolutely. Everyone's story is different. My story started at an air show as well, seeing the F-22, and our hope is to light that spark in somebody to do something great, whether that's flying F-22s, joining the Air Force, or something else they're passionate about. We just want to light that spark in them, and hopefully a spark that they can keep alive for years to come.
And for someone who may be watching this and think, that sounds really cool, can you talk a little bit about the non-entertainment side of it and what it's like to be a pilot in that aspect?
Absolutely. Long days, a lot of work, but absolutely fantastic, especially considering the team aspect. It takes a village to get this airplane airborne, and so we are very, very close with all the maintainers, all the people on the team that get the airplane going. But lots of training, lots of rehearsal to get where we are today, and that includes both on the combat side as well as the air show side.
What do you hope that someone takes away from this show this weekend?
I hope they're inspired. That's the big thing. We talk about recruiting, but really we are trying to inspire more than anything, and that's my favorite part of the whole thing. I hope someone walks away from this show saying, wow, that's an amazing thing, that's really, really cool, and I have something I'm passionate about, and I'm going to chase after that with the same veracity it took those people to get to where they want to be.
What's the most difficult part of flying?
I would say one of the most difficult parts of flying the F-22 is learning the tactical side of things. The jet was actually designed in a very, very unique but effective way. That means flying it is pretty easy actually, but the other side of it, the tactical side, and learning to work as a team, to employ this F-22 as a team, is the side that definitely takes years to master.
What is your rank?
I'm a captain in the United States Air Force.
And you said, talk a little bit about your air show experience. You said that when you were a youngster, you got inspired. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So I saw the F-22 at the St. Cloud, Minnesota Air Show. It was Zeke Skalicki was the pilot at the time. I've actually talked to him since, and it's really a full circle moment to start on one side of the fence and now be on the other side of the fence, hopefully lighting that same spark that was lit in me all those years ago.
How old were you?
At the time, oh man, I was probably 15 or 16 years old at the time.
How old are you now?
I'm 31.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, what can like say the viewers at Cocoa Beach, what can they expect to see during the show? Like what kind of maneuvering and so forth?
Absolutely. So our demonstration aims to show the unique maneuvering capabilities of the F-22. A lot of airplanes can go fast, a lot of them can pull a lot of Gs. Not many of them can fly at such a high angle of attack, stop the jet in midair and fly backwards, which is something else we'll do during the demonstration. So we really want to hone in on what makes the F-22 unique. It's not just the flying though, we also couple that up with a fantastic soundtrack mixed by somebody on our team so that a lot of the maneuvers will be synced up, as well as being on the radio with our safety observer to time all the maneuvers, and world-class announcing from our team superintendent. So when it all comes together, it's quite the spectacle to see.
And you're from this area?
Yep, yeah, just a mile south.
Okay, where are you from?
Satellite Beach,
Satellite
Florida,
Beach.
yeah, originally.
Okay, what's it like to fly into your hometown?
Oh, it's a cool little full circle moment. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank and express appreciation for everyone who got me here, and so it's hopefully an instance where I can show them what they've, I guess, all their investments and intentionality has brought about.
Is your family here?
Yep,
too?
yeah, they're right over there.
Is this the first time that they've ever seen you fly in here?
Oh yeah, it's the first time I've ever flown in my hometown, so I'm pretty excited about it.
What are your emotions right now?
I'm just relieved I didn't do anything stupid, first and foremost. But I'm also just happy to be back. Just again grateful. Primarily is the primary emotion.
And what got you here today? I mean, what inspired you to be where you are?
Oh, I mean that's got to go straight to the guys at Patrick and the rescue squadron here in the rescue wing. My dad flew here, and so being around those guys kind of showed me the camaraderie of the Air Force and what I wanted to be a part of when I grew up. I just happened to fly something a little bit different when I got there.
Was your dad in the Air Force as well?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in the Air Force for 20 years.
Would you say that's what inspired you?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Dad being in the Air Force is definitely what was the primary driver. But then just seeing the kind of people, the caliber of people that get to serve, and then the ability to kind of be a part of something bigger myself is really what I wanted to do with my life.
What are you most excited about this weekend?
I'll go to the beach. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, for the other part, what are you?
Oh, I'd see my folks. Yeah, see my family is definitely up there. It's probably equal, if not slightly above, going to the beach. But getting some sun, going to the beach, and really just watching Laz tear it up out there is going to be awesome.
Are you going to be a part of the show or no?
I'll just be on the ground helping him out.
Okay, very, very cool. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, when you say you're on the ground, what are your tasks during the show as it's progressing? Like what?
Oh, yeah. I act as the primary liaison between the air boss and Laz himself. So my primary role is, one, to keep him safe and to back him up with any sort of safety or any challenges that might arise during the air show. And then two, just to be kind of the mouthpiece that's at the show center and participating like next to the air boss and able to kind of advocate for Laz for whatever he might need to make the demo as optimum as possible.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into that. Going to be pretty cool to see. Again, Saturday and Sunday, Lori Wilson Park in Cocoa Beach. We're going to take a quick break here on Fox 35 News Plus, but we'll be right back.
You're watching Fox 35 News Plus, streaming on Fox Local.
Live look west of downtown Orlando. A lot you can see here. Camping World Stadium, Enter & Co. You also see Kia Center, the home of the Magic. In fact, you see Make It Magic right there on the video board on the side of the building right there. We know the Orlando Magic lost their Summer League opener last night, lost by 3 points, 84-81. First round pick Jace Richardson, though, 14 points in that, shot 5 of 8, went 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Now, second round pick Noah Penda, not quite as good of a first performance, 8 points. He was 4 of 9 shooting, and I really saw that offense run out of gas down the stretch. But we did hear from the Summer League coach, Amir Bahur, and players Jace Richardson, Noah Penda, speaking with reporters after the game. Here's what they said about the Summer League opener.
First of all, his toughness. Like, obviously, he's not completely 100%, but his willingness to keep fighting. It was a really physical game we just played. He did a great job handling it for his first time out there. He didn't really look sped up too much or rushed, and he was in control, so definitely something to build on.
I know he's been battling through some stuff, but just the growth that you've seen from him since you have had him so far, Jace.
Yeah, in 1 week span, tremendous growth. Just like I said, picking up everything that we're doing, and from that point guard position, being able to get everybody else in their spots as well. So just really impressed with his leadership so far, and his resilience, his toughness so far, and we're just going to keep building on it.
Because it's like, can he expect a lot of physicality coming at him that maybe other guards won't see?
Definitely, 100%. But I think he's ready for that. I think he'll embrace that challenge. And I think he does a really good job of kind of giving that physicality right back. And so that's what we're going to demand from him, and I know he's up to the task.
Did it seem like Noah got more comfortable, perhaps, as the game went on? What stood out to him? What stood out to you about him?
Yeah, I thought Noah was really comfortable the whole way. He got better as we continued. For me, just like his instinct, his feel, his knack for where to be, and his IQ on the floor was really impressive. And I think he did a lot of things that maybe don't show up in the stat sheet, but he did a great job for us.
Given his heft and just his overall size, how much does he bring that to bear on the way he plays?
For sure. I mean, we talk about physicality being our brand of basketball, and that just fits right with who he is and what he does and the way he's built. So, we're going to ask him to continue that on both sides of the ball, and as we go, I think, his role and his understanding of it will keep growing.
What do you think you contribute the turnovers to? Just kind of generating chemistry still, or?
Yeah, I think a little bit of that, a little bit of maybe some first game jitters, but I thought we cleaned them up as the game went on. Like we tell these guys, we're asking them to play fast, but under control. And I thought it was a little bit out of control to start the game, but I thought it got better as we went, and we'll look at the film and clean it up.
How did Tristan help maybe get that game under control for you guys?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. Like I've been saying this whole week, our mission for him is to be aggressive. I thought he was definitely aggressive offensively. I thought he did a good job defensively. I thought he had some buckets that kind of settled us down when there was a drought. So, again, really happy with Tristan. Thought he did a good job.
What was the moment like for you getting to coach the team, kind of make your summer league coaching debut for this organization?
Yeah, like I've said, it's always an honor to represent this organization. And for me, it was just about seeing our guys out there and getting their, for some of them, their first taste. For some of them, get another chance. And like we told these guys, it's all about opportunity. So whatever I can do to help these guys get a little bit closer to their goals and capitalize on their opportunity, and that's what I'm trying to do.
I know Jace mentioned that he was battling through, I believe, an ankle injury. Was that something that he hurt, doing summer league workouts or what?
I believe it was a workout after summer league. I'm sorry, after the draft. But yeah, he had got back to 100%. I think he might have retweaked it again, but like I said, toughness, resiliency to come back in the game, and it was really impressive.
I think it was good. It was a little ugly in the beginning, but I think at the end we looked really promising. We know what this group can offer and the talent that we have, so I think we started seeing that at the end, and we started getting more comfortable as a team.
What was the adjustment like for you? What did you notice out there?
For me, just, the pace of the game and the physicality. You saw it early. It was super physical, guys picking up full court, a lot of body checking, a lot of bumps. So, just getting used to that, and I started feeling more comfortable with it as the game went on.
Did you – how wide a difference is it from what you have played with all your life up to this point?
Basically the same. I mean, I'm a smaller guard, so I'm used to people trying to be physical with me. So kind of expecting that when I came in here, guys try to go at me, be physical, try to body check me, all those bumps. So, just getting my body ready for that.
How do you feel physically after that one?
I feel good. Messed up my ankle a little bit, the one that's been lingering, but I feel fine. But other than that, I feel great about the game.
You talked about the full circle moment when you got drafted going to Orlando. Now coming back to Vegas has to be kind of cool, right, to get your first burn in the NBA?
Definitely. I still remember my last game. I played here, actually. I remember playing a game here at Cox Pavilion. And, it's just good to see familiar faces in the crowd sometimes, so it's amazing.
You talked about your ability to make those second half adjustments. How much is that kind of go into you, the teachings and the lessons that you got from Tom Izzo during your time at Michigan State?
Oh, a lot. Going into halftime at Michigan State, it was a war in there. So just taking that in here, just remember the adjustments that we have to make as a team. Try to talk to my teammates and see what they see.
All about improving, getting better, seeing that the progression on the court for some of those young players like Jace Richardson there, and like Noah Pinda as well. Well, thanks for joining us this morning here on Fox 35 News Plus. We will be back around 1:30, I believe. That is when Senator Ashley Moody holding a news conference in Brevard County, what she's calling a major legislative victory for the space industry. We'll have that streaming for you here on